Thank you, Sylvia, and good evening, everybody. Good evening, Your Excellency, the Governor, Chief Justice, and distinguished guests, colleagues, friends and family. I too want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting, the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I extend my respects and welcome to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here this evening. I'm excited my presidential year coincides with the bicentenary of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. And proud to be an officer of one of the longest continually serving and sitting courts in the common law world. The Chief Justice has graciously invited the Law Society to several events marking the bicentenary, and the profession is very excited to be part of this milestone. Chief Justice, your ongoing support of this event, of our shared history and the Law Society, and more broadly, is greatly appreciated. I look forward to hearing your address later this evening. I would also like to acknowledge the Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Law Society of New South Wales, Kenny Tickle, who has warmly welcomed me into the role, and to thank the wonderful staff of the Law Society of New South Wales for their expertise, professionalism and hard work. To my family, friends, colleagues and former workmates, thank you for being here this evening. I am truly grateful. And importantly, thank you to my partner Keith for your ongoing love, humour and unwavering support. It is an honour to stand here tonight as President of the Law Society of New South Wales for 2024. We are a profession that stands over 40,000 strong, and the privilege of leading the Solicitor branch through such exciting and challenging times is humbling. I plan on using this year to work with the Council, the senior leadership team of the Law Society and its staff to do as much as I realistically can to help navigate our profession on an upward path, while also focusing on the law reform work, advocacy and balanced representation of the profession that are the mainstays of this great legal society. I would like to acknowledge my predecessors, the past presidents of the Law Society, for their work in this endeavour. To the immediate past president, Cassandra Banks. Thank you, Cassie, for your leadership and advocacy last year and throughout your term on council, for everything you have done for me personally and for your focus on young people and the most vulnerable in our justice system. Your warmth and legal ability will help you to excel as you sit as a Judicial Registrar in the Albury Registry of the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia this year, I have no doubt. Yes, a round of applause I think is worthwhile for that. I'd also like to look forward to next year, where Jennifer Ball, who is the Senior Vice President, will be President. My partner Keith, after meeting Jennifer in Chicago, confidently declared, "Brett, you'll be good, she'll be amazing." So on behalf of Jennifer, thank you so much for the kind words, Keith. I also welcome Rona McSweeney as the Junior Vice President to the Executive this year. I'd like to thank the Law Society Council for their support and unwavering dedication to the legal profession, and welcome those who are new to their roles on Council this year. We are lucky to start the year in such excellent running order, with Kenny as the Acting CEO and the senior management group that we have at the helm. I am blessed to start my year with such a stable and committed council, ready to work hard on behalf of the profession. The opening of law term provides a unique opportunity to reflect on how far we have come. The profession is now comprised of more than 50% women. The increased diversity of our profession is pulling us into the future, and we are stronger for it. Cassie was the 11th female president, Jennifer Ball will be the 12th. And we have people of culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds on council, and a majority of the councillors are women, which is quite different to even 20 years ago. And pleasingly, our council reflects this new and exciting shift in society. I was born in 1985 on the edge of southwest Sydney, and I have seen our society and profession change for the better, not as long as so many people who are just muttering at the table at the front there. I'm no longer a young lawyer, just to confirm. Thank you, Attorney. As someone who does not come from the traditional Sandstone University background, I value diversity not only in who is seated around the table, but also the diversity in perspectives and views in our public discourse. This adds value to the functioning of the rule of law and our democracy, our legal rights as individuals, and the work of the legal profession in New South Wales in defending the rights of all. I learned early on that law is about people. My late brother Dean taught me from a young age that life is fundamentally different for individuals and families. You cannot control much of what happens in life. However, you can control and choose how to react to it. For me, the support I had growing up from family and friends was vital. The wide net of support included my time at St Paul's Primary School in Camden. On my first day in primary school, I sat next to Anthony Gordon, a fellow counsellor now. He became my best friend and like a brother. I'm lucky to have had Anthony as a friend, as well as the kindness of Karen, his wife, and the entire Gordon family, and likewise the Gleeson family, who were huge support. My childhood was a happy one. Unfortunately, I don't have a log cabin story to share. However, it is not unlike many young lawyers now entering the profession. My father, Terry, was supported and obsessed with cricket, but also exposed me to the wider world and the value of fair play and sportsmanship. And my loving mother, Julie, who was an incredible support and always instilled in me the virtues of hard work, accountability, and the intrinsic value each person holds in and of themselves. My family wasn't part of the legal world. They just wanted the best for me and provided me with a well-rounded education. However, growing up, I always knew I was a little different, that there was something deep in my DNA that I could not change, that would impact how I would be seen by society and might even hold me back due to prejudice. And it wasn't until adolescence, and certainly my 20s, that I came to terms with the reality that I have red hair. As you can see, so far it hasn't held me back. I was fortunate to be educated at the Morris School St Gregory's College in Campbelltown, which became a haven for my love of debate and public speaking. This school nurtured my talents, instilling in me the motto, "What you sow, so shall you reap," a philosophy which has guided me through life ever since. I also had a strong year group with great teachers. It helped me realise that people who foster education in a meaningful way can have a huge impact on a young person's life. This has informed my choice of presidential charity for this year, which I will return to later. Mum and Dad separated towards the end of high school, but both happily remarried. So I'd like to acknowledge my sister Zay, who's here, and Jackie, my stepmother, and Barry, my stepfather, who are all here tonight and have helped me in many ways. My first experience with the law, however, was unorthodox, to say the least. It was when I attended my parents' own family law conciliation conference as a teenager. The lawyer who represented my mum, Tom Reeve, who's here tonight, later became my boss at Marsden's Law Group in the family law department. The subsequent twists of fate, though, led me to eventually running my own conciliation conferences as a senior registrar of the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia, often in the same room where my parents were. I like to think of their separation as my first and probably most valuable work experience. So thank you, Mum and Dad. I'm also proud to have attended Western Sydney University, and I note that I am the first graduate from their law school to rise to the presidency of the Law Society. I studied while working full-time in government and living in Camden. The experience reaffirmed how important access to education is to me. In 2012, after getting admitted, I started as a clerk in the criminal law department at Marsden's Law Group in Campbelltown. I realised the importance of criminal law, however, it was not my calling. The welcoming morning tea in the family law department, however, convinced me to give family law a try. To Tom Reeve and Naveen Youssef, who were the partners who took me on, I am forever grateful for their mentorship, and that of my dear friend Kimberly Buttress over many years. I'd also like to acknowledge the unwavering support of the partnership, particularly Jim Marsden, the senior partner, and John Adam and Joe Bonera, the managing partners who are here tonight. Marsden's built on my understanding of the law, but also the professional skills of client care and commitment to the community. It is renowned as a firm where many lawyers have gone on to great things. John Marsden, the founder, was the first openly gay president of the Law Society of New South Wales back in 1992. John Fay, a former Premier of New South Wales, and Kerry Lalich, the current CEO of Lawcover, were both at Marsden's. Also people on the bench, such as Pauline Wright, a former president and president of the Law Council of Australia, and now a magistrate, started at Marsden's. It has been an amazing foundation for many. I am proud to be Marsden's second Law Society president and part of its legacy. And in support of diversity, Jim, I look forward to one day sitting at the opening of Law Term Dinner to welcome the first openly straight Marsden's Law Society president. After 6 years in practice with my love of learning, led me to lecturing at Western Sydney University from 2016 until late last year. I also became a senior associate at the national firm Gaydens in Sydney. It was a great experience which allowed me the secondment to the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia in Sydney as a registrar. 2019 to 2023 at the court gave me an invaluable insight into the operations and mechanics of the court system as a senior registrar and as Director of National Registrar Operations in Dispute Resolution. The Chief Justice, William Alstergren, who I acknowledge is here this evening, Deputy Chief Justice Robert McClelland, David Pringle, the CEO, were very supportive, as were my registrar colleagues who are here this evening. Anne-Marie Rice, a Senior Judicial Registrar in Brisbane, is my dispute resolution kindred spirit, who unfortunately can't be here. Together we built the pathway for the court to bring cases of family dispute resolution for parenting before registrars and embedded into the court process, and all the while operating the court in the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was rewarding to focus on the just resolution of family disputes at the court. Family law matters are often centred on questions of grief, fear, and social elements mixed with legal ones. Working with families in distress to build just outcomes is deeply rewarding work. And workable, practical outcomes in law is something that I'm passionate about, which is why this year as President I will lead the Society in looking at ways we, as a profession, can drive change and achieve efficient and just resolution of disputes. As we know, justice delayed is justice denied. We have made many great strides in family law in the past 20 to 30 years. Ask any family lawyer, change is the only constant. But from my time as Senior Registrar and teaching law, and seeing law reform work at the Law Society, I know we must consider the mechanisms and models of practice into the future. The tried and tested Canadian model of the use of depositions in a wider way in civil and family law matters to aid the administration of justice is one such example. Depositions would not be appropriate in many cases. However, where cases are complex and the evidence of key witnesses may be significant, they can be a very effective case management tool. Subject to appropriate safeguards to curb potential abuse of the process and the escalation of costs, allowing this kind of discovery evidence in certain cases could forge a clearer pathway for litigants and their advisors. The experience in Canada, and heaven forbid we say the United States, suggests there are benefits to depositions in terms of promoting settlement and narrowing issues in dispute. This is just one area of many where I'm excited to work with our expert Law Society, policy committees and council to consider and help advocate for law reform to aid the flow of justice for clients and the courts. I want to see this because I'm a strong public advocate for uplifting the amazing work of our profession. And this has informed the 3 priorities I have for my time as President in 2024. My first focus this year will be artificial intelligence and the legal profession. We are in year 3 of the large language model revolution. I want to ensure the legal profession and the courts are well informed and supported to make the most of the changes that are arising from this revolution. Because we are now living in a world where the camera does lie. And of course, when you are faced with fundamental changes, people are understandably bamboozled and want big predictions. In March last year, Goldman Sachs estimated that generative AI, which is behind things like ChatGPT and its descendants, or Google's Bard, could automate 44% of legal tasks in the United States. Going back a little further, 2,000 years ago, Cicero wrote, "So near is falsehood to truth that a wise man would do well not to trust himself on the narrow edge." So whether AI will be like mobile phones or more like the harnessing of electricity is currently an open question. And right now, the reality of being a lawyer, of dealing with people and human problems, means AI won't replace us anytime soon. But as experts are pointing out, another lawyer using AI might. And this raises questions about the use of this technology to provide legal services in this state and what constitutes legal advice. AI also raises ethical questions for the profession, questions about billing and costs, government regulation, and issues of deepfake voice or video recordings in evidence. Ultimately, the question is, how will this affect our ability to deliver sound legal advice to our clients advocate for law reform, and meet our duty to the courts. That's why the Law Society will step up its support for solicitors in this new era of technology. As endorsed by Council last year under Cassie's leadership, we will help guide the profession in its approach to AI. We will establish an AI task force for guidance, policy, best practice, and education. It will identify pressing innovation and technology trends and provide guidance as to how best we can use all of them. It will also do so by contributing to policy and reform recommendations, working particularly with our privacy and data law and public law committees. This will maintain our strong history of anticipating and responding to the challenges facing the profession, to balance our place in society. Education, leadership, and advocacy for solicitors on all matters to do with AI will be our focus this year, adjusting to our ever-changing world and keeping us on the best possible course. To support this, we will consider issuing further guidance for the profession where warranted, to ease the adjustment and adaptation to AI into legal practice. And we will work to ensure New South Wales leads the way in harnessing the best of AI has to offer for our profession while mitigating and navigating the risks. My second priority is to celebrate the service of lawyers to the communities. With input from the profession, this year we will exhibit the full range of lawyers' service to their communities to showcase the real extent of our role in New South Wales. Already as a co-regulator, the Law Society holds a mirror up to the profession. But it is important that we also illuminate the side that is much more common and often goes unnoticed or unrecognised: the extent to which lawyers serve faithfully in our communities. I encourage the profession to show the true nature of our work in New South Wales, not as it is depicted in American television, in the news, or in fiction. I want to showcase the thousands of real people that extend a huge personal service to our society, because too often it is overlooked. The amount of work that goes beyond our billable hours is seen by very few. So this year, in addition to increasing awareness of the types of service we provide, the Law Society will gather information through benchmarking service levels against the Australian Bureau of Statistics and Volunteering Australia data. This includes pro bono, fee relief, volunteering, committee work, legal aid, community legal centres and more. The data will help us to understand where we are and how we can enhance it. I think it is vitally important that this year we also identify barriers and promote service opportunities for our retired lawyers. We can all benefit from the experience and knowledge of people who have a lifetime's work and learning in the law. That continuity and understanding of change can help the public at large and help people remain an active part of our legal community. This is a huge step towards recognising that the society can continue to benefit from solicitors in many ways across different generations. I also want to highlight the pro bono hours in the annual profile of solicitors. I believe that we can do more to show that we don't work in an industry. Instead, we are part of a united profession. We operate based on being people of good character, as we have done for hundreds of years, working for everyone in society. As a profession, we are legally, ethically, and individually duty-bound to represent our clients' legal interests and those of the court. But we go far beyond this in the services we provide. So I am proud to say that at the end of the year, we will honour this with an award of duty and service at the annual members' dinner. And to balance this celebration, my third and final priority is to focus on the wellbeing of solicitors. Research recently from Canada highlights which is the most similar jurisdiction to our own, highlights that internationally there are common, perhaps structural causes of mental health issues within our profession. Many of the most damaging wellbeing trends in our profession are unfortunately from international perspectives. There are major professional stresses when our people start as solicitors, once they are building their practices, when they try for more senior roles, and the cumulative effects of dealing with matters that profoundly alter the course of people's lives. That's why I have come into this role already considering how we can apply what has been learnt through the research and recommendations of our Canadian counterparts to the benefit of the profession here in New South Wales. Of course, different stages of practice require different responses. The reality of how AI is likely to have a disproportionate and challenging impact on junior practitioner workloads is very different from the consequences of dealing with vicarious trauma. But that is why this year we will increase the focus on specific mental and physical health matters through the Law Society services. I especially look forward to working with the newly elected President of the New South Wales Young Lawyers, Taylor Spirovsky, and her Young Lawyers Executive on this priority. We will improve early career preparation for those joining our profession with increased guidance and integration into the Law Society. This will help guide early career lawyers to find the support services that they need. For all lawyers, we will go back to basics with a focus on the importance of having a GP to talk to as a trusted first instance support to discuss and destigmatise mental and physical health problems. Alongside this, we will continue to prioritise access to our solicitor outreach service. Too often, a sizable proportion of lawyers feel concerned about access to mental and physical health services, and we want to remove these barriers. We will also invest in expanding our membership offering with access to and significant discounts on physical and mental health wellbeing resources such as gyms, nutrition programs, and a whole lot of activewear. We will further align training and continuing professional development and practical legal training with wellbeing considerations. All of this will be highlighted through Law Society events over the year, in our regional visits, at events related to promoting the findings of the Canadian Research and Are You OK Day. Online, we will continue to expand the Staying Well in the Law program, the heart of our online wellbeing services. While we support the legal profession wherever possible to build the best mental health and wellbeing that we can, it's crucial to remember that fostering this begins long before adulthood. With that in mind, I would like to return to my choice of presidential charity this year. Exposing children to the magic of reading can build resilience and pave the way for a brighter future. This is why I've chosen United Way Australia as my presidential charity for 2024. United Way is the largest not-for-profit organisation in the world. Founded in the United States, it began in Australia 50 years ago and focuses on education. And I know United Way is passionate about its vision for Australia, where every child can read, learn, and ultimately succeed in life. I've been actively involved with this organisation for almost 5 years and seen firsthand how crucial their work is for helping children with literacy. It does this through a partnership with none other than the Rhinestone Queen herself, Dolly Parton, called the Imagination Library, which brings a library into the home of children with a book every month before school begins. Every child in the program is given books to keep, which hopefully kickstarts a lifelong love of reading. It also encourages whole towns to get behind early literacy with support and tools to build an imagination library that goes beyond homes. United Way is looking to expand access to the Imagination Library program in New South Wales, and I would like to ask for your help in doing so. It will go a long way to helping children from lower socioeconomic backgrounds access the magic of literacy. You will notice a little card that's sitting there with a QR code on your tables. I encourage you to show your support for this wonderful charity by scanning the QR code and scrolling down to the donate button today. Your donation will support a lifetime of reading by helping children access books in areas where they might not readily be available. And we will be showcasing the work of United Way in a short video later this evening. In conclusion, and reflecting on what it means to be a solicitor and leader in a time of seismic shifts in the legal and socio-economic landscape, I'm reminded of the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, quoted by leaders including Margaret Thatcher upon entering Downing Street. I think it perfectly encapsulates the enduring role played by lawyers and the legal profession in uncertain times, in an uncertain world. And it goes like this: where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope. Looking forward, we may face challenges: legal technology, the well-being of the profession, and the evolving role of lawyers in society. But I must confess, I still believe that together, as a united profession, with our diligence and precision, we can continue building a legal system that upholds the rule of law and defends the rights of all. Thank you.